Hello, everybody, and welcome to another summer episode of That's a Wrap. My name is Austin Jameson, and joining me today is...
Anthony Gentry, hello.
Yeah, so today, we're probably going to end up doing like 4 or 5 of these. We still don't have an exact count. We're just kind of feeling it out. But welcome to our summer specials. We have done Lightyear, and this is our second. And today we will be talking about the newest Thor movie, Love and Thunder. But before we get there, we have a few things to talk about first. First of all, Anthony, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm doing all right. I actually just saw Thor: Love and Thunder. We were recording this.
Oh, funny enough, I also just saw Thor.
No way. What? I think I was sitting right next to you.
Were you that guy?
Yeah, I was the guy who was laughing and coughing the entire time. No.
I thought I recognized you.
I will say our audience was pretty good this time.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad. Nobody laughed. Anyways.
Except for someone in a cowboy hat.
Yeah, that was a comedically large hat that was standing right in front of us.
Hat.
But that's
that
is the very interesting thing today is that we just saw the movie. This is the rawest reaction that we'll ever have probably.
We have not had time to do any thoughts, preparation.
We are completely prepared.
Yes.
No, we're not.
But it's just gonna be off the cuffs.
Yeah, we're gonna be giving our thoughts. We have a trailer to talk about. We have 2 movies that Anthony's seen that he wants to talk about.
No, one. We have one.
And then Thor: Love and Thunder to finish it off. But let's start with the trailer.
Yeah.
Which is Amsterdam.
Yes.
I just watched the trailer. I just saw this for the first time. Apparently, it's a night of very first reactions. I think it looks pretty neat. I think it looks like a fun story. I like the cast looks super solid.
If you recall, for our episode of the top 10 best and worst movies of 2021 and our top 10 anticipated, this was my number 1.
Was it?
It
really?
Was the unknown movie.
Okay.
Because of the director and the very stacked cast.
Yeah.
That the trailer shows off.
No kidding.
And it looks like my money, which I did not bet any of, is paying off because this looks great.
It looks really fun. It looks like a fun
murder mystery.
Yeah. Let me see who directed it.
David O. Russell.
I see that. Okay. What did he do? You probably told me this.
Silver Linings Playbook.
Damn.
Great movie.
You see, I don't watch movies apparently.
Apparently he has a bunch of movies that are good. I've only seen the one, but you know what? It's a really good one movie.
Yeah, American Hustle, Silver Lining Playbook, Three Kings, A Fighter.
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah, this looks great. I like the setting of it. It looks very it's a very, I wouldn't call it a timepiece, but
yeah,
it looks it looks like a good movie. November, I believe.
I think so. Yeah, Christian Bale doing some comedy. Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
I'll take it. I think it looks like a good time. Is the best way I can describe it. I don't know much else about it though. I recommend watching the trailer if you haven't seen it already. Do you have anything else you want to say about it?
That looks good. Yeah.
It looks good.
Number 1 anticipated.
Yeah, trailer did its job.
Exactly.
All right. So, speed past the trailer. Let's go ahead and move on to the first movie.
Yes.
Anthony,
which one would you like it to be?
Why don't you tell us about, of the 2 movies, pick the one you liked more and talk about that first.
Okay, so the one I liked more would obviously be Minions.
Yeah, Minions Rise of Gru. Okay.
I fell asleep during this movie.
Why?
Because it was awful.
You're hurting my feelings.
I don't even know what to say about this. It is so
well, you're too busy laughing.
Funny. None of it makes any sense. And I know I'm saying this about a Minions movie, but at least the first 2, maybe even 3 Despicable Me movies were actually about something. And then
I love the purple Minions.
Exactly.
Yeah, they were great.
But with this movie, it's not about anything, and then they try to shove a message at the end, and it doesn't work.
Like you're a better person after seeing it though?
I'm craving bananas. That's all I can say.
Wow. You said that live, and that's going to go on the internet forever. I have not seen it, unfortunately.
Give it 2 out of 10.
I'm currently You give it a 2 out of 10?
Yeah, maybe 3. You know,
That's like probably the lowest score you've ever given a movie. Are you sure you want to commit to that?
I think I gave Morbius a lower rating.
You probably gave that like a 14 or something. I don't know. I've not seen it, but God knows I've seen the ads for it.
You should watch it. I think you'd like it.
I probably would.
Yeah.
I like Clifford. I'm very excited for the sequel.
Clifford.
I'm very excited for the sequel. I think it's gonna be a good time, and we're going to review that when it inevitably comes out, even if it's years after the show has ended.
I will quit.
I will drag you back into the studio and we will
screaming.
talk about Clifford. But that's Minions: Rise of Gru. Watch it. If you've heard about it, I'm not sure if you have. There's not been that much advertising.
No, not much
related to Minions. No. So
let's
talk about just a little indie film, which is probably more a little indie film. It's the newest biopic on the block.
It has a budget of like 200 million.
It's a little indie.
Elvis.
Yeah,
I watched Elvis.
Mm-hmm. Who is it about?
It's about this guy named Colonel Parker.
Colonel Parker.
Yes.
Okay.
And how he was Elvis's manager, like legitimately.
Is it about? Is it more about him than the?
No, but he narrates it.
You like Tom Hanks' accent?
It was weird. I heard somewhere that like the actual guy didn't have an accent. So
okay, I thought that was like Tom Hanks super getting into the character.
Yeah, I don't know. Tom Hanks, I think he did a good job. I really like this movie. I want to say that. Austin Butler does a amazing job as Elvis.
Awesome.
I think he has like some really good Oscar potential.
Ooh.
The only thing going against him is just this not coming out towards Oscar season.
Right.
But he gives a really great job. The directing is really stylish, which I think is very needed for a music biopic to stand out from the crowd.
Right.
Because a lot of biopics are like more the same. Like the star rises up, then they get into drugs or something, and then they have a redemption. And that's how a lot of them go, because I mean that's how their life went.
Yeah.
But with this, they.
No, you just caught me off guard.
Well, I mean,
it's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah.
I just didn't. Yeah, you go on. I'm sorry.
No, I mean,
it's not funny.
If I mean to like rephrase it, like just.
You don't have to rephrase anything. Yeah. I'm insane. You go.
A lot of biopics are basically by the numbers.
Yes.
In this one, it's so stylish. It goes beyond that, which I think is really good. I think my main gripe with it is they do a like. They spend a lot of time saying, "Oh, Colonel Parker is a bad person. He manipulated Elvis into like doing all this bad stuff. He took like 50% of his earnings and stuff." And in the movie, I don't know if it's because Colonel Parker was narrating it, so maybe unreliable narrator, but I didn't feel like they did a great job of showing him being this manipulator of Elvis. A lot of the times it's him just saying, "Hey, like, I know what's going to make you money and popular.
Yeah.
Here's how we do it." And he turns out to be right. So when Elvis goes away from him, I'm like, "Why are you doing that?" Like, he's shown himself that he's right.
Interesting.
Yeah, like there was this one scene of the new Elvis, which is basically because he gained traction for like how he moved and stuff. And because of that time period, it was people were very like prudent back then, and the cops were gonna arrest him if he kept doing it. So Colonel Parker was saying, "Hey, if you keep doing it, they're gonna cancel our shows, and we're not gonna make any money, and your career's over. But if you just put on a family-friendly show 2 times, just twice, and then we go back to how you're actually acting the rest of the time, then we're good. All you have to do it is twice, and that's it." And Elvis, he does it once, and then he like goes on this journey of like, "I gotta be myself." Like Colonel doesn't know what he's talking about, stuff like that. Who knows? So so I don't. This isn't really a spoiler because like it's history and stuff. So then he becomes himself.
Okay.
And guess what happens? He gets arrested. He gets sent to war. His career is almost over until he bounces back. So, like, I don't know. Like towards the end, they show it more how he's like manipulative, but a lot like that was my biggest gripe. But in the context of the whole movie, it's more of a nitpick.
Okay.
Like I even think I need to watch it again just to understand more of what
Fair
he's
enough.
doing. So it might even just be on me. But other than that, I really enjoy this movie. I'd give it like
Yeah.
maybe an 8.5
Okay.
out of 10.
Yeah. What do you know the Rotten Tomato scores for it?
87.
For what?
Elvis.
For or
For-
for
For the
for
critics.
Minions or
Oh,
no?
for Minions, that's gonna be 100.
Yes, you got that
Yeah.
dead on the money. What do you think the tomato meter was?
For Minions,
For Elvis,
87.
87.
Yeah.
No,
What is it?
78.
Oh,
I gotta.
I
Yeah.
thought it'd be higher. I really liked this movie.
What do you think the audience score is?
You know what? I'm just gonna say 87 because I think it's gonna be a
87.
lot higher.
94 for the
Okay.
audience. Let me pull up the the Minions
No.
tomato. I'm so curious.
You know what? I'm gonna say the critics are gonna be like, kids will like it and give it a pass.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say like 54.
Yeah, okay. Okay. You said critics 54.
Yeah. Don't tell me it's like fresh.
72%.
No, for Minions.
72% for critics. What do you think the audience score is, Anthony?
That's gonna be like a 98.
Is that your final?
Yeah.
Your final guess? It's 91%.
Ooh, okay. I used to be good at these.
Wow. the
Can I
the
see
break
your
is-
screen?
Yeah. There's a giant thing in the middle telling me to get
Oh,
rid of ad blocker.
that's a 72%.
That's a 72%. I want to check the original Minions real quick. What year did that come out? 2015.
Yeah.
Really?
It's been 7 years.
It feels like it was. I feel like they made that in like 2019. No way.
No?
No way. That's 2015. Harambe was still alive, bro. 2015 Rotten Tomatoes. That's actually insane to me.
That's going to be rotten.
We'll see about
I
that.
think that was also in the 50s. Was it fresh too?
What do you think the tomato meter was?
Okay, if it's fresh, then maybe like 63.
I mean, you can't say if it's right. You gotta. 63. Is that your guess?
63.
Okay. What's your audience score?
95.
Okay. Tomato meter, you said 63.
Yeah.
Was 55%.
Oh, I should have kept with my original.
And then the audience score, you said 94.
I think 95.
95. My bad.
Yeah.
It was 49%. So.
Oh, well, that was when you didn't have to be verified to watch the movie. But now people will
No,
actually
you-
see the Minions.
Critics'
Acknowledge
consensus.
its greatness.
The Minions' brightly colored brand of gibberish-fueled insanity stretches to feature length in their self-titled Despicable Me spinoff, but with uneven but often hilarious results. That's way too good of a consensus for 55.
Have you seen Minions?
No.
It is awful.
I'm quite glad I haven't seen Minions, actually.
There's
Well,
a
let me-
scene where they do like a strip dance for
do they show
Parliament
Minion
guards. Yeah,
Yeah.
multiple times, and in this one too. And Gru butt,
butt? Yeah.
Kid Gru butt.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Well, it
it's
wouldn't
not
be a
good.
stupid anime movie if they didn't show that crap. Do you want the critic consensus for Rise of Gru?
Okay.
The Minions' antic shenanigans are beginning to grate despite this sequel's injection of retro chic, although this loony marathon of gags will still delight young children. So it's basically what you said for the last one, where it's like, it's a good movie for
Yeah.
kids. And then Minions, or this is the audience says,
Okay.
Minions: The Rise of Gru might not be the best of the series, but it's got all the colorful silliness that the fans of the franchise will be looking for. I want to meet a fan of the franchise for Despicable Me that hasn't grown up,
Yeah.
because it just moves with the generation.
Mhm.
I don't think there's any fans of the franchise. I think there's children. Actually,
Have you seen the Gentle Minions?
I have. I respect their cause.
If you don't know what we're talking about, or if it's like, I don't know, 5 years from now and the trend is dead,
I'm gonna scoot this here so
basically,
you're talking more into it as you look.
there's a TikTok trend going
It's much
around
better.
where a bunch of teenagers
Yeah.
go to a movie theater in suits
Mhm.
to go watch Minions.
Yeah.
And they act like all like businessy. Some of them throw bananas at the screen, which I don't think is cool.
That's not cool.
Yeah, that
Acting
is
respectful, wearing a suit to the movie theater. That's epic.
I saw some people they acted like construction workers, but brought in a trash can full of bananas,
Aw.
not to throw at the screen, but just to eat.
Okay.
So
that
that one,
that
I
had
think
a happy
that's
ending.
funny.
Yeah, Minions. I think it took America by storm. Everybody's talking about it. If you haven't seen, given your money. Seen Minions: Rise of Gru. You should give your
Do you
money
know
to
how much
Elimination.
money it's made so far?
Let's see. Let's.
Or I can tell you.
You know, like off.
Yeah. It's the highest 4th of July grossing.
That checks
like,
out because everybody's taking their kid. To
it's
go see it.
120 million.
Did you watch? You watched Jurassic World, right?
I did.
Why?
I liked it. I talked about it on the Lightyear.
Did you talk about it?
I thought it was rad.
I thought it came out.
It was stupid, but it was
recently.
good.
I forgot it came out. I just saw it on. You saw the Black Phone.
Yeah,
Did you talk
that was
about
good.
that one yet?
No.
Yeah, we
We're
going off the
Are
rails.
we not gonna talk about Thor?
No, we. I don't know when we started.
I don't know either. This is gonna be a 3-hour podcast.
We're 16
Buckle
minutes
up.
in. We got time. Talk about the Black Phone.
Okay,
Ethan
yeah.
Hawke popping off this year.
This movie was great. I loved this movie. It is one of those horror movies that doesn't rely on jump scares to get its scares across. It is just so atmospheric and creepy, and it's so tense because for people who don't know, it's basically about a kid in the 70s who gets kidnapped.
Right.
And that alone is just terrifying. And then there's a phone in his room, like where he's being kept, and it's and like whenever he gets a call from it, it's from someone that the kidnapper killed.
Right.
And so they're trying to help him escape. And it is so interesting and so cool. And everything like builds up and it's there for a reason.
Okay.
I don't want to say anything about it.
Well, I will. Based on what you've seen, do you remember the trailers for this movie?
Yes.
Would you say those revealed a lot, or do you think it was just misleading and it was? Because I think that was my main complaint is that the trailers felt like so much.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I would say
okay.
Don't watch the trailers if you don't have to. But there are some elements of it that they don't give you that are like integral to the story. And like some like shocks here and there.
Yeah.
But they do give away a lot of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I kind of want to say.
That's a big complaint of like just movies for me
Yeah,
nowadays. Is
they
that
always
the trailers
give away
are like
the movie, the plot.
they've leaned so heavily into the shock value of just like I remember The Invisible Man was a really bad trailer moment where it's just you watch the entire movie. While we're in that era of movies, I do want to bring up before we get to Thor, because apparently that's what we do now. Before we started, I mentioned the movie Unhinged, and Anthony said that he didn't want to see it, and he hasn't seen it, which I think personally is a crime. Unhinged,
by the way,
featuring
I
Russell
give
Crowe and
Black
Fortnite
Phone
players. A 9?
Yes.
Do you know it's Rotten Tomatoes? We can play this all day.
Do you want to do your Unhinged stuff first?
No, we can get back to Unhinged. Do you know the scores?
No.
Okay.
You know what? Minions threw me off my game.
Yeah? Blame it on the Minions.
Yeah,
then,
I'm going to go with a 76.
For Tomato Meter?
Yes.
Okay. An audience?
Audience? I feel like it might be a little lower since like horror movies I feel like generally do that. I'll go 68.
Okay. So 68 for audience.
Yes.
And then was it 73? What'd you say? 78? Was it higher?
I forget.
It's late.
75.
Late.
Let's just go in the middle.
75 for tomato meter. 68 for audience. The tomato meter is 83%.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's respectable.
And then you said the audience would be lower. It is 89%.
Oh.
It went up.
Okay.
It's almost 90. So it's almost your thoughts are pretty in line with everybody else's on average. The critic consensus is the black phone might have. Let me pull up. Let me get a little closer here. The black phone might have been even more frightening, but it remains an entertaining, well-acted adaptation of scarily good source material.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, it is the author of the source material is Stephen King's son.
Ooh,
and
that's really interesting.
You get a lot of Stephen King vibes in this.
Okay. That's interesting, but I don't know how I feel about Stephen King's reign just continuing. I respect good writing, but I feel like so many movies, I feel like 80% of book movies are from him.
Yeah, we just talked about The Shawshank Redemption. And that's him.
We just, oh my goodness. But yeah, that's the black phone. I might watch that. I might read it honestly.
I think it's a short story.
I feel like I would enjoy the concept more as a on text. I don't know how it might be cool as a movie. I don't know.
I hear it's a short story, so it might not give as much detail as the movie does.
Interesting. But that's something for me to figure out in the future. Otherwise, do you have anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up the show? Or
there's this little movie that just came out.
Mm-hmm. Who's it by? Who made it?
Marvel.
What is that?
Yeah, it's a new up in Marvel.
Marvel?
Yeah.
I've never heard of him.
It's this up and coming studio, a lot like A24, you know.
I've never heard of A24.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I've no idea.
They make some really good lighthearted movies. I think
Marcel, the show she's on.
Yeah. Which is in theaters. I want to go watch it.
Is it in theaters?
Yeah, but apparently it's like
what?
6 theaters.
Oh.
But hopefully it'll expand. Yeah, it's called Thor.
Thor? Yeah? So, I think
or Thor.
We've expunged this bit enough.
Okay.
Let's get to our final subject of the show. We're talking about Thor: Love and Thunder today. The 4th movie in the Thor, whatever you want to call it now anymore. It's about
Do you
Thor.
like the Thor movies?
I like Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I did not. I barely remember watching Thor. I don't remember watching Thor: The Dark World. Thor Ragnarok was okay.
Do you want to know a secret?
What?
I haven't seen the first Thor.
I haven't seen the first Iron Man.
You haven't?
No. Or the second one.
I didn't watch the first Iron Man until maybe 3 years ago.
I should have. But Iron Man 3 was like my first movie that I went, or Marvel movie that I went to the theater for.
Okay. Iron Man 2 was mine.
Actually, it might have been Captain America.
First
Avenger. I think that was the first. And then Iron Man 3 came out after Avengers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because he had the flashbacks.
I like how we had similar Iron Man experiences where we didn't see the previous one.
Yeah.
But we still wanted to see the new one.
I just want to hop on the Marvel bandwagon, but on the topic of Marvel bandwagon, I don't know if I'm feeling it anymore, honestly.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm feeling burnout. Like really bad burnout from we'll get to the Thor thoughts in a moment. We'll push them off as long as we can. But I wasn't very excited for this movie.
Yeah. To kind of compare this to another Marvel project, I feel like not to compare it, but basically I watched the 4th episode of Ms. Marvel this morning.
Mm-hmm.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
But I loved the first 4 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
This episode was the first one where it was kind of veering off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
The first half of it I thought was strong. The second half, it got too superhero-y, where it just kind of took away the charm of the show.
Gotcha.
And like with Doctor Strange, we didn't like that.
Yes.
And now with Thor and this new episode of Miss Marvel, I don't know where the MCU is going.
Me neither.
I don't know if I like where it's going.
There's so many branches that are just being created now, and then, like, with the content loop that Marvel's been dealing with, there's so long between each cliffhanger for each thing. We have we have like Kang, with Loki. We have, whatever, or I don't even know. I was excited for Moon Knight. And a common or a phenomenon I've seen with the Disney shows is that they just go slowly down. They peak in the first episode, and then it's just kind of like it's not great from there on. WandaVision, I'd say, like WandaVision's was the first and most distant memory for me.
For me, like, sorry, you can go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't know. I think I'm definitely losing the spark with Marvel.
Yeah, I think WandaVision even like. I really liked WandaVision, but when I look back on it, it's not that fond just because of the final episode, because it was just, we have to have a superhero fight.
Right.
As opposed to all the other episodes.
Yeah.
Which was like this big mystery, and I feel like the internet also kind of ruined WandaVision because of all their wild theories.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know, I will say I like Thor, Love and Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a huge like. It's like you barely made it, because the beginning I thought was strong, maybe a semi-strong, and then it went downhill pretty quickly with the Guardians.
Yeah, I'd say I share a pretty similar sentiment. This Thor movie was a Thor movie. It was a Marvel movie. The best way I would describe it is it's a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
You go in, you get pretty much exactly what you expect, minus a few like random plot developments or whatnot.
Yeah, it feels like Thor keeps going through the same like journey.
I agree.
Like Ragnarok, it's who am I?
Right.
Because without the hammer, who's Thor? He's still the God of Thunder.
Right.
In Endgame, he lost. Who am I? So he has to go back to like the Dark World time to talk to his mom to be like, oh, I'm still a hero, like no matter like how I get there.
Right.
In this one, it's still, who am I? And like, I don't know, like it's a story beat that they just keep repeating.
Right.
That it feels like they could go in so many more like interesting directions for Thor. And with this, it is more of a like, who am I in a sort of romance aspect.
Yeah.
And I did really like Thor and Jane in this movie for that. Like, they kind of saved it, but even then, like, they weren't the strongest all the time. I think when they first met, that was strong.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think I agree super with that. I think, like, the problem is I don't think I have any strong feelings about this movie.
Yeah.
Everything felt like either dull or predictable, or I wish what Taika Waititi did with this Thor was try and keep somewhat like of some level of seriousness about it. I feel like a lot of the beats of the movie were converted to comedic reasons when they could have been a very like
exactly.
Yeah. I wish I fear Marvel like with like Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, with Doctor Strange. They're trying to create unique identities for themselves, and Thor, his unique identity was Ragnarok, and they're trying to rekindle that flame, and in doing so, I feel like they're reusing a lot of the same, like even the story beats, like you said, even the comedic beats.
They
like,
really do that at the beginning.
Yeah, it's
with
Korg talking fast. And like
they kind of like remake the beginning of Ragnarok with this, with it's a catchy 80s song that everyone likes.
Right.
Thor goes into battle, and then something happens, and something else happens, and
And it's just another story of Thor losing everything and then regaining it and figuring out who he is. And it's a Marvel movie. It wasn't terrible. It was like decently well made. I liked some of the some of the the cinematography of a few scenes we'll talk about in a little while when we get to our own spoiler section. They were pretty good.
Yeah,
but this movie I feel like lacked individuality in the sense that it just felt like a Marvel movie. All the writing felt like it was like extremely targeted at like just, I don't want to say Marvel fans. It was more of just like you could tell that everything was being like filtered into it felt like Thor Ragnarok.
I feel like Ragnarok and this is less of a Marvel movie and more of a Taika Waititi movie, or at least a mixture of the two. And with Ragnarok, that worked a lot because they still prioritize the story a lot of the times. But with this, it just felt so like kind of jokey, and a lot of the jokes just did not hit.
I'd say a big problem as well in terms of his story beats is that Thor Ragnarok let Taika Waititi have his fun. They were like, please, we had Thor Dark World flopped. Age of Ultron wasn't great for Thor, for the movie in general. We need to turn Thor's character around. We need people to like him. Work your magic. And he did. He made him like a more comedic character. Suddenly he's just this like buff idiot instead of some like mystical Norse god. And that's the direction they went with his character, which is all right. I think like the whole Odin scene on the cliff was like a really like probably one of the best scenes in the MCU, I'd say. And it had its moment. It had its ups and downs, but for the most part, it was a lighthearted like comedy.
Yeah, the more I watch Ragnarok, the more I like it. I don't know if the more I watch this movie, the more I'm gonna like it.
I think to continue that is that Thor Ragnarok was a comedic movie and it defined his character for that point. Endgame comes around, and I feel like Taika Waititi didn't have. They either purposefully changed his direction or that he didn't have as much control over the characters, like how he worked. But you get Infinity War and Endgame where Thor goes into this depression, and that becomes like it's another who am I arc. But
even that I feel like that fit with his character,
I agree,
even going from Ragnarok, because he had lost so much in that,
right?
And then Infinity War, he had lost the almost entirety of Asgard.
Yes.
Then that arc of finding like, not even who am I, but am I worthy? I guess.
Right. And I think that was good. I really liked the scene where he travels back and he gets Mjolnir again. It was like all of it was great. And then I feel like this movie gave me whiplash on trying to get right back into Thor comedic with the Guardians and like
it did. Yeah.
Thor at the end of Endgame where he gets on the Guardian ship and like he's kind of quippy, but it's still very much like the guy who was just sitting on his couch eating pizza and playing Fortnite. And then we're suddenly into he's back. He's arrogant. He's cocky. He's quippy. He's not very smart, but he's strong, and he can defeat armies with a single hit of his hammer or whatever.
Yeah, and the Guardians did not have to be in this movie.
They didn't. I feel so strongly that was not either it was somebody was super against it and somebody was super for it.
It's because of the ending of Endgame that they had to be in there, or else you'd be like, why aren't they here?
Yeah, and for like I'd say light spoilers, not like it's pretty implied. Do you want to go into spoilers? I
wouldn't say right now.
Okay,
but
we'll keep this light. Is that the Guardians almost immediately
leave? Yeah.
And
that's in the trailer. Like I think that's fine.
It's definitely implied. But they're immediately gone, which just reeks of Taika Waititi like sweeping off the mess that somebody else left him story-wise.
Yeah, because I thought Thor was going to be in Guardians 3.
I agree.
But I guess not anymore.
I don't know. I don't know if that was James Gunn. I imagine James Gunn. Well, I don't know him. I don't know what he was thinking. But
Yeah.
if I was in his position, I would want my own, because that's the problem with, like, if there is any problem with Infinity War and Endgame, is that you mix all these characters together, and then you have to find a way to split them up again.
And it's not that, like, we don't like the Guardians,
Mm-hmm.
but with this movie, they served no purpose whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, I wish they just would have been written out,
Mm-hmm.
because this is a movie that's less than 2 hours, especially with the credits and everything, maybe an hour 50, and it flies by.
Yeah.
It is to some points where it feels rushed.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think if they took out that maybe, like, 10, 15 minutes of Thor and the Guardians, montages and stuff.
Right.
If they took that out and replaced it with more of the world building of where is Valkyrie, where is Jane, where is Thor, or just more of the adventure they're going on, that would have been so much better. Because when they did end up kind of at the ending, I was surprised. I thought we still had maybe half an hour to an hour of a movie left.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, oh, we're here. And it like you said, it was kind of whiplash to be like, oh, this movie is so fast. We're like, they're not kind of spending any time like developing these characters.
What I feel this movie lacked is to comment on the, like, how you have to transition away from Endgame. I feel like it's so abrupt. There wasn't, I don't know, I'm not going to place blame on anyone specifically, but Thor Love and Thunder as a movie ripped itself away from Endgame as soon as possible, where it felt like they were setting up this plot. They were going to find Gamora. Thor was going to be there. He was going to be an honorary member of the Guardians for a little bit. Maybe James Gunn was going to get to have fun.
Saved for Guardians 3, though.
Well, I think that's still going on, but I thought Thor was going to be, like you said, a large, part of the Guardians during that. Where it feels like Taika Waititi, or again, I don't want to keep saying his name. I just associate him with the movie. Is that it just, I don't know. And I'm sure if they had less structure, that they would have been able to pull something like that off. But in the grand plan of Kevin Feige's web of the MCU, I imagine there is a plan that they have to follow probably pretty strictly to make sure that they have as many opportunities for shows and movies lined up, and they can, like, everything's still working out. I don't know. I'm so curious to see and hear what was going on behind the scenes, because it's I don't know. It's just it feels. It gives me the same smell that, like, the Star Wars sequels gave me, where it's multiple directors trying to do different things, and they're communicating, but it's the type of communicating that you do when you're pulling on either side of a rope.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The like direction that the MCU has gone in terms of, there is not many directions. There's just, like, I feel like the subject of each movie has grown so big that it's so hard to, like, take anything as a universal threat anymore.
They're introducing a lot, but they don't really have a big through line.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm thinking of is all these like objects of power that we're getting. Right. Like Shang-Chi's ring, the sword at the very end of Eternals. Right. I just forgot the bangle in Miss Marvel, stuff like that. Like, maybe that will lead to something.
I don't know. It's just hard to, because we also have the Young Avengers being teased with with Hawkeye and I don't remember his name. From Falcon and the Winter Soldier, though.
Bad Cat.
Or not John Walker, but what was his name? I want to say it was Isaiah. His grandson. But I don't know. There's so much room for opportunity. Yes. There's so many paths that they're going in now. It feels like it's hard to see another, like, because I know Secret Wars is the comic arc that they're trying to end back up at for the next Avengers moment.
Yeah, and it feels like Kang might lead into that, but even Kang, not to say Ant-Man is like a lesser franchise, but he's going to be the next Ant-Man villain.
Mm-hmm.
And those movies are usually reserved for, hey, let's just have some fun.
Right.
So I don't know.
Going from Loki to Ant-Man in my head is like, it doesn't fit. And so it feels like, I'd say the MCU right now feels like a bunch of puzzle pieces, but they fit, but they're all from different puzzles.
Yeah. And who knows, like, maybe 5 years from now, we'll look back and be like, oh, it all makes sense. But right now in the moment, it's hard to see.
I definitely think the Marvel Cinematic Universe is so bloated right now with like plot lines, direction, casts, like so many characters that they're getting to a point where it's so hard to complete any single arc without having to shove somebody else to the side for the next 5 years.
They love introducing characters in their post-credit scenes.
Yes, they do.
Including this one.
And including Adam Warlock, which we're still waiting. Hype for Will Poulter.
Oh, yeah, from Guardians 2.
You remember that?
But I mean,
remember
going back
Doctor
to
Strange
Thor,
1 and how a Spider-Man trilogy came out while we were waiting for his?
For Mordo.
Yeah, who we still haven't seen in our universe.
Apparently he was supposed to be in Doctor Strange and they cut it.
I don't even want to hear it.
But
give me another end credit.
Going back
I'm sorry.
to Thor.
You go. I'm
like I said, I still like this movie.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I liked the most is Christian Bale. I think he was the best part of the movie. He was still underutilized, very much so. But it looks like you have a storm brewing.
He was a really good part of it. And it's not his fault, but I think the character was madly inconsistent. I think every other scene he was either this like Joker crazy laughing character, or he was like just like subtle and intimidating in another. Mm-hmm. And I if they showed him going in between those two more, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But we have no reason to believe that he should be switching between those two personalities.
I guess for me, the Joker stuff is so he has this sword, the Necro sword, and they say, oh, it's infecting him. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I'm like, okay, when he's like Joker, that's him being infected from it. Mm-hmm. When he's like the serious brooding, he's still infected, but now he's on a mission.
I don't know.
So
that's a fair way of interpreting
it. That's how I like kind of passed it. I don't know, I still thought he did a really good job with it. I wish we had more of him. Mm-hmm.
I'd say like
he was so good.
His performance was good, but him as a character, I'd say it doesn't near the top of what I would say is my favorite MCU villains.
Oh yeah, not nearly.
Which is unfortunate because like of the many things I was excited for was his performance, because I know I've been seeing articles like crazy that were raving about it. I know people were saying don't watch the trailers, it reveals too much gore.
Yeah, I feel like I like Christian Bale more than I like Gore.
Yeah, and I feel like that's like, I don't know. We're entering a weird phase of the MCU where we have like, we'll get stars like Christian Bale, and then we'll get new like actors and actresses, which is refreshing.
Yeah.
But it's just so much. Yeah. The MCU is just overwhelming.
Like, it was also weird. Speaking of like overwhelming, how they have some plot lines that they just abandon.
Yeah.
Like with King Valkyrie, when we first get introduced to New Asgard,
right?
It's just a bunch of commercialism.
Yeah, I don't.
And I'm like, okay, so are they gonna do something with like Valkyrie selling out, something like that, and like maybe that's why she wants an adventure, and she's like, no, I just haven't been on one in a while, and they just don't reference that again. It's like, oh no, we're just putting an Old Spice ad in the middle of this movie. Okay, let's get back.
It was definitely just like disappointing, but my expectations were not high. Yeah. The next movie, Marvel movie, is Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Yes.
Which
that movie already doesn't have a lot going for it, just because of Chadwick Boseman unfortunately not being able to be in it because of his passing. But I mean, as a standalone film, I'm not particularly looking forward to that. I wouldn't even say I'm looking forward to like Secret Invasion
or like that's the Nick Fury show, I think.
Yeah, that's the show.
She-Hulk I'm looking forward to only because it's, I don't know if it's rumor or confirmed. Is that a spoiler to say that like a character might be in it? I don't think
Daredevil?
it is. Yeah. I'm excited for Daredevil, but
Yeah,
that's
he was
because
just
I'm already
confirmed
familiar
for
with
the
his
Echo show.
right, and Vincent D'Onofrio coming back.
Is it D'Onofrio?
It's probably D'Onofrio. I think I said it wrong. And like I don't know. I feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm more nostalgic for old Marvel content that it's going to be harder for me to accept in like newer content.
Yeah.
I don't know. We are at 45 minutes though on a recording. I can see it in the timer. Okay. Do you want to go into spoilers for Thor?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Because there's a few things I want to talk about.
How would you rate it?
Right. I don't know, man. I would, if I was Rotten Tomatoes, I would give this like a 73. Like
that's a good rating.
In terms of Marvel ratings, I would say what I'm trying to communicate is that it's not great.
I thought I liked this more than you.
You do.
I would give it a 6.
Okay. Well, if in my own world, or that was just me trying to like because you never see like a AAA movie under 60%, really.
Well, for Rotten Tomatoes, that's just how many critics gave it a passing score at least, and for them, that's like a 6 out of 10.
Okay. Well, if I was to give this 1 to 100, I would give this movie then probably a 60%. I think that's fair. I think that's like, if not lower, I would say 50, like 6, 7 maybe.
Yeah.
It's not great.
So we're kind of close. I think I did like it more than you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like even the action sequences just felt out of Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel like they were doing.
If I had a nickel for every time he jumped and put his,
I know
like,
that jump attack.
Like, I get they're trying to make it his thing, but do something else, man. We've seen it. It was cool when they did Ragnarok and he had the eye, and it was just like,
yeah. And then they kept doing it.
Yes. Give him his eye patch back. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But CGI, I guess. Anyways,
I also, one last thing.
Yeah,
I liked the ending. I thought the ending was strong.
Well, if you want to pull, do you know the Rotten Tomatoes
I'll
score?
save the spoilers. I do.
Okay, then I can guess them if you want.
Okay. Unless it went up by a percent.
It might have with it just coming out.
The Rotten Tomatoes score.
I would say the critic score is probably right now like a 78. I'd say it's a 75 to 78. It might be like I could see it being lower, but I think people are gonna like, especially critics are gonna latch on a Taika Waititi style. They're gonna say, I imagine the critic consensus, if it mentions Ragnarok at all, it would be like in spirit of Ragnarok. Slightly fails to capture its essence, but still a fun movie to watch. Then I'd say the critic consensus or the audience score. I don't know if it'd be higher or lower. I feel like most people are gonna like this movie. I don't think it's. I think I'm being pessimistic right now just because of my burnout with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I would say they're probably gonna give it like an 85, 86 probably.
Okay.
Final answer.
Okay. So for critics, you said 78?
Yeah.
It is a 69.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The consensus. In some ways, Thor Love and Thunder feels like Ragnarok Redux.
Okay.
What you said.
Yeah.
But overall, it offers enough fast-paced fun to make this a worthy addition to the MCU. Also what you said.
Word. I'll take that.
For
That's
audience,
a dub.
you said 86.
Mm-hmm.
87.
Woo!
You were right there.
Okay. All right. I'm pretty proud of that Rotten Tomatoes, actually.
Yeah. You did good.
Thank you. I not often do we nail the consensus. That's funny. Okay.
I got and did that with Minions too. Yeah.
Weird. Maybe we're becoming better movie reviewers.
What?
Maybe.
Not with like 28 episodes. What?
Yeah, 28 and more on the way.
Yeah.
Coming this August to
Nope.
season. No. Anthony, can we talk about this on like after the? I don't really.
No, the next episode is Nope.
Oh my god! You can't do this to me. But I'm ready for spoilers if you are.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Spoilers, everybody. So be warned.
Yeah. Sorry, since it is a Thursday, if you're watching live.
Well, yeah, we're running a little late, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I want to first. This is what I want to tell you what I wrote down in my notes.
Can I say one thing real fast?
Go for it.
So like I said, I liked the ending until we got to the very end of the credits and it said Thor will return. Because I thought that was such a good ending.
Yeah.
For his character.
Well,
to have like this daughter.
We will. We're gonna see Thor return, but I think it should have said we will see. Is her name Eternity, or because it said it's not Eternity. Eternity is the place they went to wish for her.
Yeah.
But like, does she have a name? Is it Love? Is it like because they're known as Love and Thunder? Yeah. We'll call her Love. She'll come back in a major way. I think she has god powers and she's Thor's.
Because obviously, young Avenger.
Yes. That'd be kind of crazy. But I guess we needed somebody to follow up Thor, which I thought was going to be Mighty Thor. That wasn't the case, though.
I do wish there... Yeah, that did kind of suck.
I thought we were going to see Thor die.
I did too.
Thought this was his moment.
I do wish, though, that we get new heroes instead of...
It's a younger one with the same powers.
It's the exact same power set.
Look, it's
know
mini
and love.
Thor.
Like,
I would have preferred Frog Thor or anything. Do you remember Frog Thor?
Yeah. From Loki?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But my note was during the God scene at what was it? Omnipotent City? Is that what the place was called?
Omnipotent
I don't know if it was trying to be a pun or if it was just Omnipotent City. They made it weird to say. Omnipocity? Maybe. I was expecting... They mention Raw.
Yeah, they do.
And so I was like, show me Khonshu.
I was looking around
show me
see
Khonshu.
if like there'd be any Moon Knight gods.
Right.
No. Or I guess Egyptian gods.
yeah, Moon Knight. I agree. I absolutely agree. It would have been nice to see... Because I think it would have been so cool if we saw like some Egyptian area and we saw like the 5 gods that weren't being suppressed or that the ones were controlling the other gods. I think that would have been so interesting. But Moon Knight still stands with almost very like no connection to the MCU. I still look forward to seeing how they work him into the MCU if they do it all. Again, like I said on the last episode we did over the summer, I think it's still going to be very weird if we ever see Mark Spector and like Kamala Khan like take the field together.
Yeah,
but
that will be kind of weird.
But that's the direction I want. I really like Moon Knight, and I think Moon Knight's probably going to be my last like Marvel title that I like for a while until they come out with something that really hits hard.
I hope Miss Marvel sticks the landing because I still love the first 4 episodes.
I don't know. With Miss Marvel, I think the first episode peaked so hard, and then because I fell in love with the first episode. Like the amount of like stylistic like art and editing.
Yeah, the style is almost gone.
They put into the work. They made everything they made it so vibrant and pop. They gave everything flavor, and then the second episode we see so little of it. There's no like cool art or graffiti following her around. There's nothing stylish about what she was like. She draws and that was her personality, and they don't follow through with that. And with the amount of art you see in each episode, I'd argue the quality of it goes down, which is just disappointing to me. It's that like I haven't seen the 5th episode, but it's very much just turning into a like here's a superhero story and not here's Kamala Khan's story.
Yeah, and this isn't a Miss Marvel review, but that's what I loved about Miss Marvel was Kamala and her friends. Yeah, like that whole storyline of. I forget the one friend's name, but her running for council. Right. That I loved that storyline, especially like the style of them going to the different groups.
Yeah, I agree.
And how that was stylized.
The Illuminantes.
Aunties, yeah.
It's so good. I agree. And even with that, we never even get the payoff of like seeing her like win, or we get her running to Kamala's room and like saying she won. Yeah. And that's. Really? I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I think I'm worried about the quality of the MCU turning into quantity over quality, I think.
Yeah.
They have so many like Disney Plus seems to be a main focus of them now, and just like I don't know, man, it's disappointing.
How do you feel about Hercules?
Hercules. Oh, right.
Because that was the character introduced in the post-credit scene.
I thought he was going to be introduced in the movie. I don't.
Yeah.
They Adam Warlocked him too, or not even. They didn't even mention Adam Warlock.
Is he going to be the next Gore where he's like, I'm going to kill all the other gods?
I thought he was. Is he not a hero in the comics? I thought he was.
In the comics, I don't know, but like in mythology, he's a hero.
Well, yeah. I know, but like, I don't know. I think it's so weird, and like, or also the scene where, we're in spoilers. Thor kills Zeus.
Yeah.
When it is so many like.
I thought Zeus was going to die, but I thought Gore was going to show up and just slaughter them all, which I thought would have been awesome for one, but also great for his character to see how menacing he is.
Right.
But instead, it's Thor doing it.
Let's rip off Chris Hemsworth's clothes.
Yeah. And they even allude to it by Zeus saying, "You're safe here. Yeah. He's not going to come here."
Right. And then window breaks or something. No, we just get the screaming goat gag again.
Yeah.
It's exhausting. And also, I'd like to point out that the main threat of this entire movie is the Necro Sword, because it can kill a god. I've seen a lot of gods die at this point, not to the Necro Sword.
Yeah.
And I don't know why Zeus is. I don't know. I don't know how they do Zeus in the comics. This isn't the comics. That's like a main definitive point of the MCU is that they don't always follow the comics. They do some things to make it better. I don't know what they did. I hated Zeus. Zeus, like I get Taika Waititi's style of like let's hype something up. We'll allude to it. We'll slowly plant the seeds as you like slowly introduce this character. Zeus is this mighty god. He's the mightiest of the gods. He's the king. He's the ruler. And I know Russell Crowe is in it. Russell Crowe's great actor. He's really good at what he does, and I like a lot of his work. And so I thought
Unhinged.
Like Unhinged, bro. I thought we were going to get this super stoic Russell Crowe, like as Zeus, as the king of the gods. But
I was fine with that. Like his characterization.
I liked that. I love that they alluded to Zeus literally having like so many women and men around him. Him just being like the point of the movie talking about how gods like abandon their subjects and joke about them and disregard them. That's great. But to make him like, it would have been nice if he was still like stoic but disregarding, to make him see he didn't feel like a god. He felt like he just got out of a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
I hated
thought of this.
What?
So the whole movie, Gore is killing gods because he feels that gods do not care for their people.
Mm-hmm.
So if Gore does that, why does he kidnap a bunch of children instead of just killing Thor? Because if he thinks Thor doesn't care because he's a god, why would Thor come?
He's trying to prove a point to these 30 children that he takes to eternity with him.
Yeah. I guess. But then, like, when he does try to save him, why doesn't Gore go? Because I thought Gore was going to be like, oh my god, you do care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still say screw those other gods, but maybe you and other gods do actually care. Maybe I need to change like what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe he was too far gone with the Necro Sword. Who knows?
Right.
But
I was still waiting the entire time for Thor to be like, he'd turn around and see Jane and then, but no, that it doesn't happen. Thor gets another victory. He'll probably get another movie. He'll get another feature. He'll get another whatever.
Yeah.
Because Chris Hemsworth is apparently not tired of this. Unlike every other like Avengers actor. I guess we'll get Mark Ruffalo back.
Yeah. He's in She-Hulk.
Yeah. Everybody else is gone. We might get a Jeremy Renner like cameo, but I can't imagine him getting any more actual screen time.
He'll be back.
I don't think he'll ever be back though. He might get he'll get a cameo in the next like Hawkeye like Kate Bishop appearance.
Mm.
But I don't think we'll see like him ever like hold a bow again, really. Mm-hmm. Or if he does, he'll be like 80. We'll be watching Avengers like 12, and he'll be like, oh, I still got it, and then he'll like shoot some like celestial out of the sky, because that's the point we're gonna be at. That like, and just to rant a little further, I think a big problem of mine right now is that every movie has a universal celestial terrible threat, and it doesn't feel special anymore. It feels like everybody gets their chance at saving the universe.
That was actually one of my positives for this movie, because it was just, let's save the kids.
Mm-hmm. But like literally, one of the final quotes of the movie is like, Jane Foster saving the universe.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I guess they saved the universe, but all they did was save gods.
Yeah,
that's all Gore was gonna do. And you know, another thing is that they don't. Besides Thor, they don't prove Gore wrong.
No,
all of the gods don't care. Like, Gore was right for the most part. I'm not gonna say like, you know, but like,
I mean, they kind of show throughout the entire movie that Gore is right.
Yeah, but and then like Thor is like, I love one woman, and Gore's like, take care of her, and then dies. I think it's so underwhelming. I'm lowering my score.
You're kind of making me consider it now.
45. I don't care. I don't like. I'm tired.
Yeah, like Gore.
Thor should not have had another movie. He was done. He should have had a feature in Guardians and then let him retire. I don't care.
Like you said, like Gore really wasn't that wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't save the universe.
Yeah,
they just saved.
They saved
maybe a handful.
They saved Zeus, and now Hercules is going to do whatever.
Because like, who knows how many he killed?
Yeah,
but
that would. I mean, I wonder if Gore got away with it if they would have done something for Moon Knight and Khonshu, because they all would have died.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It doesn't make sense. And now, like, is the Eternity higher than the Watcher then? Mm-hmm. Is that, like, a thing? Because the Watcher's statue is in that hallway. So was one of the Eternals, Celestials, and like probably a bunch of other people.
I don't know. I'm still stuck on the other thing. Like, I get Thor wanting to stop him because he's a god himself.
Yeah.
And, like, him, like, just trying to stop him, not kill him.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like, no, you didn't save the universe. You saved some gods.
I don't know, man. It's...
who don't care for anyone.
I don't know. The message was so mixed. It was just a comedic fiasco of Taika Waititi being funny.
Yeah.
I didn't laugh.
I still like Taika Waititi.
He's good at directing for, like, a stylistic like choices.
I don't want... he's making a new Star Wars movie.
Yes,
I don't want to... I'm going to see it. I hopefully will like it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see it because I want him to go back to his roots of making these, like, not even small, but, like, maybe even mid-budget, like, comedies.
No, I got you. I absolutely understand that.
He has one coming out the end of this year that I'm excited for. It's, like, a soccer movie about this team that went, like, 0 for 100 in a game. And so it was, like, an underdog thing, but they still lost. And so he's turning that into a comedy, which I think could be interesting.
Okay.
But with this, it's like, move away from these big budget things.
I don't know.
Because the tones don't mix.
I want to, like, I just really, I don't think I can stand Korg anymore. He's great in very small doses.
He died, and I was like, at least we don't have to worry. Nope.
Yeah, like, I leaned over to you in the middle, and I was like, I don't trust this.
Yeah.
So now he's just a funny, but he regrew, and now he's dating Dwayne The Rock.
I pointed that out to you, too.
That was what it was. I don't know. Wow. Yeah, 45. I don't... Yeah. This movie was
I'll still give it a 6. So would you watch this again?
I enjoyed watching this movie. I wouldn't watch it again. I would say if you're a fan of the MCU, watch it.
Yeah, I would watch it again just to give it another try to see if I like it anymore.
I would say you would. If you didn't watch this movie, you probably wouldn't miss anything for the next 5 years.
No,
until
you're not
they
gonna miss
bring
anything.
back Eternity or Love.
Just
or whatever.
know that Hercules is in it, and Zeus has an adopted daughter now.
Yeah, Zeus
or Thor.
Wow. Are you? I'm not even going to joke about this. I'm so done. Do you got anything else you want to talk about with Thor? Any
notes? That's
or?
about it.
Fair enough. That's wow.
Yeah.
I'm like
I feel
angry.
bad.
Yeah, this is.
Well, because like this review was negative. Lightyear.
Let's talk about something good.
Was kind of
Minions:
negative.
Rise of Gru.
No. Doctor Strange was negative.
It's not been a great.
I mean, I gave Lightyear and this, I guess, technically a positive review.
I'm excited for Bullet Train,
like
but now
we've
I'm
had
worried.
so much negativity lately. I want to have positivity. That's why I wanted to review Top Gun. That was such a good movie. Believe me, you gotta go see it.
I would not have been positive if I watched Top Gun.
No, you would.
It would not.
So good.
I would bet you I would not like that movie. Like, it might be a good movie. I don't think I'd like it. I don't think I could stand Tom Cruise in a plane for more than 4 hours.
It's 2 hours.
Top Gun, the first one. I'd have
You
to
don't
watch
have to watch
it.
it.
You don't have to watch it? No?
You don't. Do you like Star Wars?
Yeah, I like Star
Then
Wars.
you'll like
You're
this.
not about to sit here and no.
Yeah, they do
No.
Star Wars.
I remain unconvinced. Maybe I'll try it someday.
They do, like, they legitimately, they do Star Wars.
Well, maybe when Top Gun 3
When this
comes
is
out,
over, I'll try to find the scene to show you.
I'll watch it. Well, whenever Top Gun 3 comes out, which I imagine will be probably 2 to 3 years with the success of this one. Or maybe not. Who knows? This one took forever to come out.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to watch him.
We'll see you in 30 years, though.
I have negative interest. We'll see him in 27 when It Chapter 3 comes out. We got Finn Wolfhard playing Finn Wolfhard playing Bill Hader playing Finn Wolfhard grown up. Any news
Finn Wolfhard, like, who's 80, but in Stranger Things time, he's going to be a 40-year-old man.
He's going to go in the Upside Down, and then the new Finn Wolfhard, his son Finn Wolfhard Jr. is going to pop out of the Upside Down.
Yeah.
And he's going to say, I don't even know.
We're losing our minds. We gotta stop.
We gotta stop. We'll our next review that we're currently planning on is Nope.
Nope. We're not doing that. Nope.
It's a Jordan Peele film. It's a horror film. Maybe, I don't know. It's a weird Jordan Peele film.
Yeah.
It should be.
But Jordan Peele is.
I'm not
awesome.
even gonna say it's gonna be a good time. I don't know what it's gonna be.
I hope it's a good time.
I'm
scared now.
I'm scared of everything. I'm scared I'm not gonna like Bullet Train.
I was hyped for Lightyear. I was hyped for this.
Yeah, I'm scared of Bullet Train. I think I
Did
still
you
have.
watch the new trailer?
No.
Okay.
That's not promising. I don't. I want good movies. I want good movies. Is that so much to ask? I want Marcel the Shell with shoes on. But, let's watch another Marvel movie when that comes out, I guess. That's all I got for today. Join us whenever.
Hold on. Speaking of A24, have you seen Men?
I did not see Men. Was it good?
No, I mean.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, the ending kind of ruined it. It's a weird ending.
Just talk about here. Let's play this game. I'm gonna pull up my letterbox.
Yeah.
Of movies I've seen. If you can recall from memory, tell me about a movie you watched recently that you liked.
Recently?
I have one.
So it's called Top Gun Maverick.
Please.
Does it have to be a new movie?
It has to be one of the most recent things you've seen.
Okay. I watched Shawshank. Shawshank was really good. Okay. I really liked that.
Talk about, or you don't have to really talk about it. Did you? Oh, that's like a movie everybody.
Yeah,
likes.
it's from the 90s. If you don't know, it's about a prison.
Something I watched recently. I watched the other day. It's called Little Miss Sunshine. Have you ever heard it? Or seen that?
I've been wanting to watch that.
2006 film with Steve Carell.
Yeah.
You got Paul Dano as a teenager. A really good cast. I watched it with.
What did you watch it on?
HBO Max.
Oh, okay. I have that.
It's a really cute movie. It's a good. It's like it's weirdly serious, weirdly funny. It's a good mixture. It's a good vacation movie. It felt like an actual family vacation with like some insanity in it. I think it's a good time. Still, nonetheless. And I definitely recommend watching that. 2006 is the last good movie ever. So. Maybe we'll start going up. I didn't.
I had
it
a
recently.
90s movie. So.
I didn't watch it recently, but Underdog is pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, no, all these other movies are pretty bad.
Yeah.
Wow. Most of these that I've put on my letterbox are just like movies we've reviewed. Oh my god, how did I forget about Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild?
Oh,
anyways,
go check out our review for that. That is a treat. And The King's Daughter.
Yeah, check out King's Daughter, check out Dune, check out Spider-Man. Actually, if you go to our wherever you're watching this, whether it be Spotify, iTunes, Google, is it Stitcher?
Stitcher.
Is it Google Podcasts and Stitcher two separate things?
Yes.
Okay. That Spotify, iTunes again. We have a few other reviews up.
We have a lot of reviews now.
Yeah, we've been going for a while now. I'm really happy with the progress we've made.
I do too. And we're gonna have a great season 3.
We're gonna refine our shape, our structure. We should probably we can look into like more games, like more Rotten Tomato guessing and stuff. Make it
by
more
the way,
formal.
Last 2 seasons we did a thing where that was basically the premise of our show, where one person did research. Mm-hmm. We're not doing that anymore.
Yeah,
because it was just too much of a hassle.
Mm-hmm.
We all got from IMDb.
we're always very original.
I always tried to just look up like, hey, like maybe an interview, maybe something else.
Right.
But every time I looked it up, it pointed me straight to IMDb.
Every time
nothing else.
Every time I would research something, Anthony would be like, "Oh, I heard about that." So
I try not to, but then I would just hear about something.
We are going. We'll refine it more, and we'll talk about it more in our future episodes. But we are going to move away from that model. We are going to be more of a good old movie review podcast. We'll find some fun games for us to commentate over and to figure out. But that's not a Thursday at 9 o'clock problem. That's another Thursday many weeks from now problem.
I imagine we'll probably be back maybe September.
I think that sounds good.
Yeah.
It's whenever the group lets us. Well, we kind of have an in.
Yeah. We'll be fine to do whenever. I mean, maybe end of August. Depending, because it
depends on when the
NKU will be
comes
back
out.
in session.
I'm not gonna look right now.
Well, obviously, it's gonna be DC League of Super Pets.
That's all for this episode of That's a Wrap. Thank you for joining me. My name is Austin Jameson.
I am Anthony Gentry. We will see you again for a DC League of Super Pets.
No, we won't. No, we won't. I will be going home and sleeping.
Avatar: The Way of Water.
Oh my God! You don't get me started. Please let us end this episode.
Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Thank you, everybody. And until next time,
that's a wrap.